Hey chaps, welcome back to the next episode on the, well, I guess it's XB Coupe rust repairs continue. I don't really know if there's going to be a series on this car, probably will be. We'll just take off from where we left off from the last one. So, get straight into it. Alrighty chaps, for the keen observers amongst you, you'll notice that we're taking off from where we left off. Here is a brand new beaver panel, bumper bar panel, whatever you prefer, directly from Better Than New Old Stock. Now these are absolutely the bee's knees. I don't know how he made them, but I've fitted so many of these it's not funny, and not once have I ever had to modify any of them. They quite literally go straight in and fit. And I will show you that right now. Alrighty chaps, so if you were playing at home, you'll notice that this panel goes straight in, fits perfectly, sits up where it needs to, lines up with all the holes. Realistically, if the floor pan wasn't rusty, which this one has a couple of holes in it, you could pretty much clean up all the flanges, both sides, and spot weld it all together and be done. It would be one of the easiest and fastest panels to change. Now I know some people do repair these, but considering the ease of removing them and fitting them and how well they fit, and you get new fuel tank bolt, well, I forgot what the technical term is. The nuts basically for where the fuel tank bolt's in, and you got new of these, and the flange isn't rusty, and the sides are perfect. I mean, there's no, you would just put it in. It's the time you'd spend repairing up here is just doesn't make sense to me. Oh, and you get all your new little doodads for like that. You get your little tie downs for your wiring, so it just makes sense to put one in. And you know, if you're buying from Better Than Your Old Stock, I believe you can also get them through Howard Astle. You are supporting local, so you're supporting an Australian who's making these, so help out the other chaps and basically buy it and support your local. But yes, enough waffle about how good it is. You know, you have to, because it's pretty good. But now we're going to rip it off, and we're going to start cleaning up the other sides and the areas that need to be a little bit of replacement. And we can also get down the aftermarket tail-up panel and chop off the bottom section to put in here, because then when we do the welds through here and replace there, we can spot weld along here, and it should look pretty close to factory. And we've also got to replace the inner rear quarters, which are an interesting panel because they actually spot weld to here and to here, but they go between them. So you know, now's the perfect time to rip them out and replace them, because they just slot right in. So I'll get into that, and I'll catch you up when I've got something worthy of showing. Alrighty chaps, as you saw there, I've now replaced this section from here to here, and I put the fold across it, which I noticed that somebody flattened out on here when obviously they were last playing with this. That is actually supposed to be a little fold. I don't actually know to what purpose that serves, but the fold is supposed to be there. So I've re-put it, made a new piece, got rid of all the pitting. I'm going to do the same on this side. No point filming it because, you know, it's literally that over here. And then we can actually stick in the new beaver panel. All I do is just clean off sort of the inside of these panels so that when the spot water goes through, it's got two perfectly clean surfaces to go to, and then we can actually work on trimming up this piece, or we may take out these corners so we can actually replace these inners as well. I've got a few things to do. It's just got to apply it, but the first thing I'll do is actually replace this, and we'll catch you up once I've done that and we can sit in the new piece.
Alrighty chaps, I'm thinking about running some much shorter episodes and more frequently, so this is a bit of a test, so we'll wrap it up here. I think this is a good stopping point. The next episode will be tackling the top, well I guess it's the lower section of the taillight panel. The new bumper bar panel, beaver panel, whatever you want to call, is in. It required no modification, just clean the welds, area where your welds, slap it straight in, just bolt in and go basically. That's not exactly true because you've got to weld it in and go, but as far as a panel that fits, that is reproduction and requires nothing, nothing, that's the one. That's so far, that's actually, funnily enough, every panel I've had from this guy, which is better than your stock, has fitted perfectly. I
I don't think I've actually ever had to modify any of them, actually, thinking about that. I know that I've never had to modify any of those. They all go straight in. And do remember that some of these holes are sort of not perfect from the factory, so you don't actually have to worry about them being 100% square, because each one of them isn't actually 100% square. Just got to make sure it's sitting, you know, up there and it's flush against there and there's nowhere else for it to go. And it does actually fit quite snug between the rails. So that panel is now on, securely welded. So I will catch you up on the next episode where we will tackle the top side.